This is the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara, which we've come to know. And he is the Bodhisattva of infinite compassion. His compassion reaches to the abyss of hell. There's no being and there's no deed that is beyond the reach of his compassion. And this is the Bodhisattva who is living among us, incarnate in the Dalai Lama. He is regarded as an incarnation of the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara, of infinite compassion. Now, I've heard the Dalai Lama, when he was over here, give lectures, and his accent always in his talk about Buddhism is on the force of compassion and mercy and love. There are many ways, but this is the way of the Bodhisattva and the way of the tradition that we're now talking about. This is a 17th century Dalai Lama who is an incarnation of the Bodhisattva, and he sits there with the lotus, the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara looking down in mercy at the lotus of the world. This is the Potala, the palace where the Dalai Lama lived. It's on a hill. This is the counterpart of Olympus, with the palace of the gods on the top. This is that mythic image of the world axis, where heaven and earth come together. And the Bodhisattva represents the incarnation on earth of the quality of divine mercy from heaven. And people in the old days used to take their walks, their daily walk. They weren't jogging in those days, but they'd take a walk around the palace in the clockwise direction, circumambulation. And they take with them their pet lambs and dogs so that they too could build up merit by circumambulating, because it's the one life that inhabits the whole world. That's such a lovely thing. The animals are little fellows coming along, and they'll be up there later. This is true of the trees and the grass and even the rocks. Well, that's now finished. It's a museum, I'm told. I've already discussed this. These are the 5 meditation Buddhas whom we're going to encounter here at the throat. The one of the center, the east, the south, the west, and the north. The Buddha at the immovable spot, illumination, the pig of ignorance slain, and the teaching communicated to the disciples. The person is about to die. The Dalai Lama has, not the Dalai, the local Lama has his hand on the pulse. And at the moment of death, he says, "You are now beholding the Mother Light." Now that is absolute Brahman. That's undifferentiated consciousness. So that's what we're intending all the way here. You may speak of it as the void. You may speak of it as the abyss. You may speak of it as Mother Light. It is that which transcends all cogitations. There are no words for it. So he would say, hold it. Well, if you can't, you're slipping down now from chakra 7 to 6, and he asks you to bring to consciousness the image of the Lord that you have chosen for your life contemplation. Now this is a beautiful figure. This is Mahavairocana, the great Sun Buddha. In Japanese, Dainichi Nyorai. Great day, just come. The 5 meditation Buddhas are in his tiara here. Now when I was doing a book which is here on the table, The Mythic Image, I have a picture of this Buddha. And I wanted to write something about it. And I thought, well, who am I to write about Dainichi Nyorai? Dante has already done it. So I turned to the last canto of the Divine Comedy of Paradiso, and there it was. The appearance of the Trinity, here in one form but with 5 aspects instead of 3 aspects. 1 divine substance, 3 divine personalities representing, you know, the power, the consciousness, and the rapture of the divine. Seated or appearing in the heavenly rose, lotus, where the rose is. And Dante said, as I was beholding the Trinity, the personification of the mystery, there appeared behind them 3 rings of light. 1, 2, 3 rings of light. So I used that as my text to this picture. In Finnegan's Wake, Joyce has the cycle. The book begins with the second half of a sentence with which the book ends. Away, alas, alone, a loved along the river run past Stephen Adams from Swerve Shore to Bender Bay, brings us by commodious features of recirculation back to Holt Castle and environs. Well, you can quit here. Away, alas, a loved alone along the, I finished with the book. I'm out. Or, gee, I enjoyed that book. I'd like to do it again. You see, you're back. It's reincarnation. So we're here now with whatever the Buddha is, and we're going to descend to the throat chakra, and one of these will appear, and they'll appear in sequence as the bliss bestowing, such bliss as you're afraid to accept. Now here's the representation.